my friends, and welcome to this week's Make and Take. This week we are making tiny little Pacific Northwest tags. They are so cute. Oh my gosh. What's fun about this craft is you can make just one tag if you'd like, or you can make two, but they're kind of Pacific Northwest images. We have this cute little fox, we have the little moss, the little cattails, the little bird, the little moon and stars. On the other side, we have the fun little owl, the baby owl, and the little nest, the star, the mushroom, the snail, and some fun little leaves. Also, the background has been stenciled. Oh my gosh, so fun. Of course, left the background blank so you can write like a little message if you would like. All right, here we go, friends. So you are going to need hot glue for this kit. So now would be a great opportunity to plug in your hot glue gun. In this kit here, we have all of these fun little bits. I did pre-stamp the images, so you're gonna have to cut them out. But here we go. I have two little tags involved, and both of these tags already have the stenciling and the little moon and star already stamped on one of them. All right, so because it's your tag, if you wanna do a different layout, please feel free to do so, but I'm gonna show you how I did it. So I have all of these little fun ribbons. Oh my goodness, they are tangled. Okay, so we have 4 ribbons. I picked Pacific Northwest kind of colors, and I love the black with the green and the craft together. Oh my gosh, it's fantastic. Okay, so we have all of these images. Oh my goodness, there are so many. So we're gonna use our scissors and just go ahead and start cutting things out. I love all of these stamps. My husband Taylor is the stamp maker here. He turned all of these, this is all of my art, and he turned all of my art into stamps. And so then we can stamp them with different colors of ink. The fun leaf one is one of my favorites. It's so beautiful. And then of course with our fun little cattails, you're probably thinking, how am I gonna get all these little details? We're just gonna do a light fussy cutting, which means you kind of softly put like a little halo around the design as with your scissors as you're kind of cutting it out. Because you want it to kind of have at least a little bit of a background, so that way you don't have to worry about like, oh, I didn't cut out that one little blade of grass. We're gonna do the same thing here with the little mushroom, where you kind of give a little halo all the way around. I would say that the halo amount I usually do is maybe about a 1/16 of an inch down to about an 1/8 of it, or up to about an 1/8 of an inch. All right, now we're little snail with his little cute eyes. Yes, so adorable. And then the other one, yay. All right. Oh my goodness, those little eyes are so difficult. Everyone always wonders if those like are little tendrils. Those are actually the snail's eyes. Isn't that so funny? Their eyes are way up there. All right, down to the little shell. Perfect. Oh my gosh, and then this sweet little bird on the branch, and it's looking up at the star. So when I did this, I actually cut the star off because I wanted to use the star for something else. And I actually wanted the little bird to be looking up at something different, so I thought that was kind of fun. So you can do the same thing, or you can keep the star included. Like I said, I just cut it out, and then I'm gonna just trim out the star, again, giving it like a nice little halo all the way around. What's nice about using this kind of parchment color for this project is that the parchment color is similar in color to the little gift tags. So even if you have a little halo around it, it should actually still look really nice in the whole little scene that we're gonna create. All right, and then my little fox, this is my newest stamp. Oh my goodness, I love, 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 love. So magical. I will tell you that when I actually first drew this little fox, it's part of a whole series of little foxes I drew. I actually had planned for them to be wolves. And in fact, when I was all done, I was like, oh, this turned out so good, these little wolves. And Taylor was like, Ellie, those are foxes. And I was like, no, they're wolves. And then I was like, fine, I am going to prove you wrong. And so I went to Google, I did a Google image search, and I took a photo of my foxes, and it was like the reverse lens or the Google lens or whatever. And it said, oh yeah, what you drew here is definitely a fox. I was like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. It was hilarious. But yeah, so fox, that's what that guy is. You'll see it come in. If you come in, you can see the whole page of little foxes, and you'll be like, yeah, these are fox. It was very silly. Okay, so now we're gonna do this beautiful barn owl. Oh my gosh, one of my favorite drawings ever. I just love this owl. It turned out so good. Okay, now that we have fussy cutted all of the things, we have our little bits of moss, and now we can start doing our fun little layout. So when I created this, I really spent lots of time kind of trying to create like the perfect little scene. I really encourage and empower you to come up with maybe some different ideas if you want. You don't have to do exactly the same thing I did. You can make the little leaves, you could have the little owl over here instead. You could have the little bird down here, or the little bird up here, your little mushrooms, your little you know, a little fox. You know, you can do really whatever scene your heart really desires. I don't want you to feel like you have to do the same thing as me, okay? All right, but I will show you how I put mine together. So the very first thing I wanted is I wanted to have a little tiny owl in a little tiny baby nest. And I want this little owl to kind of be up here towards the top, and I wanted the little star to be up here. I kind of like having the little scene, the little star or the star and moon up at the top left corner. So since I have a baby owl there, I want this owl, this could be the mama owl, or maybe a different kind of owl, swooping down here below. Now, I didn't want the owl, sometimes this owl kind of looks like it's gonna go down and kind of grab something, but I didn't want anyone to accidentally be in its way. Like, is the owl coming down to swoop up this snail? We don't know, but I kind of wanted to give him, the owl or the snail, a little bit of protection just in case. And so I have my little snail down here, and then I'm actually gonna do my little mushroom right here with these little leaves kind of poking out from the side. And we can imagine that maybe the owl is coming down to swoop in on like a little mouse or a little critter or a little bug or something that's maybe down here hidden. All right, on this other little scene, I actually wanted my little bird to actually be looking up at the star and moon. So cute, so magical. Then I actually wanted my little fox to also be looking up at the star and moon. I thought it'd be so cute if they were looking up at the star and moon together. And then I like the little cattails right here on the left. So this is kind of the layout I'm going for. So I'm gonna go ahead and start by taking my white glue and gluing everything in place. I'm just gonna put white glue on the back side of these. You don't need a lot of glue, but I would recommend a thin coat kind of all around. That way you get a full adherence of your little critters. Then I'm going to put down my fox. I really want the most of the fox to be exposed because I just love how cute this fox is with his little tail and his little feet. So I'm actually gonna put the fox down about 1/8 of an inch up from the bottom. So that way I can have moss there and it looks like the fox is perched on top of the moss. And then for my little cattails, I'm just gonna go ahead and put glue on the back side there and stick that up down towards the bottom. I'm not really as worried about the bottom of the cattails showing. I just want the little fox feet to be showing. All right, so on the other tag, I'm gonna go ahead and glue down my little snail first. So make sure there's glue all the way up to his little eyeballs, and that will go along the bottom, kind of like he's going along the bottom of the forest floor. Now I'm gonna put a little dab, a little line of glue here. Actually, this is where the mushroom is gonna be, but I'm gonna actually use this moment to stick on my little leaves and figure out what that layout is gonna be and how raised up those guys are gonna go. So I'm thinking about the layout, and I think this is what I'm gonna go for. All right. Okay, now I'm gonna put glue on the back side of my little mushroom and stick that guy down. I'm gonna stick that at the bottom there, but covering up where I attach those leaves. Now I'm gonna stick on my barn owl, bringing glue all the way to the edges of those wings, and we'll stick that guy up there, kind of swooping down. And then we want the tiny little baby star will be up here in the top left-hand corner. Boop. And then we will have our little baby owl, and that will be up here on the top right-hand side. Okay, now it's time to put on all of our fun moss. So I have included 2 different kinds of moss in your little kit here. One of them is actual moss from kind of like right here in this area, Pacific Northwest. It feels dry. It probably is because it's not very moist. Don't want that to mold on you. And it is real. All of this moss is real, but the green moss is kind of like traditional forest moss. The white moss is really soft. It's called reindeer moss. It's also real. It's just been dyed a different color. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna use our hot glue. You might need to use a skewer at this time for pressing things down so you don't accidentally burn your fingers. If you want to go grab that now, I highly recommend it. Okay, I'm gonna put hot glue down here right underneath where these little fox feet are. So cute. And I'm gonna go ahead and stick on some of the little bits of moss now. I'm just gonna stick those kind of all around like this. Okay, so we have this little moss down here at the bottom here. Again, you might need to use a skewer to press that down. And then I think I want to have a little bit, I'm going to use some of this green, I'm going to use all of this green moss, I think. But I'm going to have a little bit more of the green moss kind of down here, down by this little mushroom, just a little bit. I don't need a lot of the green moss, but I want it to make it look woodsy. And then I think I'm going to add a tiny little bit up here underneath this little owl, just a tiny little bit of moss. And we'll add some more of the nesting looking moss in just a moment. And then I think I'm also going to add a tiny little bit underneath this tree. Maybe it kind of looks like emulating like leaves on a tree or something like that. Maybe like some little tree moss. All right, okay, so now that I have all my green moss in place, now I'm going to start incorporating my reindeer moss. So the reindeer moss is nice because it can kind of just fill up all these empty spaces. Oh gosh, I have a lot of glue strings here. All right, so I'm gonna put some of this white moss down here on the left, this reindeer moss, kind of down here by the little edge of the little cattails. And then I'm gonna put some kind of up here by this little owl here to be like his little nest, the little nest for the little baby owl, the little owlet. Oh my goodness, so cute. And then we'll put a little bit more down here kind of by the bottom of this little mushroom. This is a great time also to kind of stick some of this more forest moss kind of down a little bit more. I love how there's little things like hidden in here. This would be really fun too if you gave it to someone and there was like some things kind of hidden behind moss and you say, oh, I spy the cattails and I spy a little snail. Like, how cute. All right. Okay, so once you have all of your moss in place, you can kind of pull off all this excess that's kind of hanging off to the side here. If you want to add more moss in here, of course you can, and you should if you're so inclined. I might add just a tiny little bit more here. Whoops, right at the base of this little tree branch because I just want just a touch more. There we go. Okay, all right. Feeling good about that. Okay, so you can tuck your hot glue gun aside now. We are done using that. All right, okay. So the last little things we have here are our fun ribbons. So this is a mesh ribbon that actually cut more narrow. It doesn't unravel or anything, but I just love this texture of this mesh ribbon. I really wanted to incorporate it. So you can think about what you're gonna pair the mesh ribbon with. You're gonna pair it with the little, let's see here, if you want to pair it with like the fluffy one, or if you want to pair it with the craft colored one, you get to decide. I think I'm going to pair each of these with the craft and the green, each with the black. So I'm going to go with the fluffy one here. All right, so you're going to fold those in half. You're going to take this part right here and feed it through. I'm going to go through the back side and bring it to the front so it creates a loop. I'm going to grab those little tails through the loop and then pull tight. And now you have your cute little tails. And we're going to do the same thing here with the other one. You fold that in half until you have the middles exposed. Those are going to slide in from the back side. You're going to reach in through the loop and grab the tails and pull those through. All right, and there we have our cute Pacific Northwest gift tags. Oh my goodness, I love. Oh, they turned out so good. I hope you guys are also inspired, and I hope you guys had lots of fun watching our little make and take. Have a fun day, friends. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.